Thanks for staying with us, joining us to speak on emergency response, especially in Lagos, and what is expected from the people during emergency situations and many more is the Director General, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA. We have with us Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osanyintolu. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good to have you. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-930-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We would like to hear your messages. So, in fact, first of all, my first question to you, where is Charlie?
Charlie is fine, well kept.
I've not been seeing Charlie around town.
No, Charlie always go out in a very majestic way.
Yeah.
Because he's the queen of emergency.
I can see that. So tell us about the response in Lagos State. You know, anytime there's an issue, we hear Dr. Osanyintolu, yes, I am here, I'm on site right now, my man, I constantly see you, everything. How has it, tell us the journey of how it has improved to today.
Okay, let me give you what we have now, so that you will appreciate where we are coming from and where we are. Under this administration of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, we have moved emergency to the grassroots. Because we realize that the impact of any form of emergency or disaster is at the grassroots. And we realize that we need to reorientate, ensure that our people align with the themes of this administration. And the key vision and focus of this administration is safety of life and properties. With that, in Lagos State, we have local emergency management committee in place in the 20 local government and the 37 LCDs. Not only that, we now have a unit that are in place in all our local government, which is the operational units. And it consists of about 12 able men that can handle any form of emergency in their local government. We now move a little bit forward or step upward. We have zonal offices. And in each of our 3 senatorial districts, we have zonal offices there, and we have dispatch centers. We have one at Onipan, we have one at Ekpe, which is termed as a regional dispatch center. And then we have our head office at the command control at Alausa. And that is why you can see that Oke-Osanyintolu, LASEMA, our team can be everywhere and at the same time.
So let me ask a follow-up question to that. So this Otedola Bridge that almost every other, at least once a month, something always happens on Otedola Bridge. Are you saying you have somebody on standby to be looking out for trucks? Or how does that work?
If you look at that, we've put a lot of things in place. Let's look at Otedola issue.
Yes.
We've put a lot of things in place. All the key stakeholders that are primary responders to emergency, like safety, like safety commission, like Federal Road Safety Corps, like LASEMA, they are all well alert at that region, including the LASEMA. In fact, the government has so magnanimous that we have a sort of hospital, accident and emergency hospital, along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, not far from that old toll gate. You will see well-displayed accident and emergency where they can handle. Yeah, it's functional. But the most important thing, when you are looking at that place, look at the genesis, look at the etiology. You will discover that it's due to the recklessness and carelessness of our people. We discover, if you look at the pathogenesis, the etiology of what leads to accident there, you will discover that one, a trailer that's supposed to carry 30 tons of fuel is carrying about 55,000.
Why?
A trailer that's that involved in those type of accidents, you will discover that they are poorly maintained. You will discover that their drivers are not in line with all the safety measures put in place. And the Lagos State, under the watch of Mr. Babajide Olusola, has put a lot of things in place in terms of reorientation, sensitization of a lot of things. We've had a lot of
questions for you. Go ahead, ma'am.
So, sir, you see, Lagos is peculiar in the sense of heavy traffic, sometimes gridlock, and sometimes we see, you know, your big emergency contraptions finding it difficult to maneuver through traffic. So I wonder, with these different units that you have in different local government grassroots, do you have them also stationed in heavy traffic areas, just so that access to accident sites is easier to get to than when you have to come from a long distance through traffic?
Yeah, we realize the peculiarity of Lagos State, and that is why we have operational units in each of the local governments, so that they can kickstart, and they are well equipped. In the next few months now, we'll be retraining them. They can kickstart any form of emergency management in their locality. We've done what we call risk analysis and resource mapping of each of our local governments. So, for example, if there's a sort of emergency at Badagry, because we realize the peculiarity, the traffic jam, a lot of things, what we did is that we've trained men at that Badagry local government that can kickstart our response at that locality. So with that, we try to manage our challenges. And secondly, most of our infrastructures in our local government, we have helipads, so that we can use helicopter. Thirdly, we have a sort of mobile CCTV that we can use. And one way or the other, lastly, if you look at the mechanism, the way we normally move to the emergency scene, we have riders, we have ambulances, we have pickups that are operational fit to handle the terrain we experience in Lagos State.
Okay, came to mark. Okay.
Obviously, I'm one of those. I'll say that I've seen the benefits of. I live in the proper Lagos, like we live on the mainland, close to Ikeja, where all the action takes place. Sadly, Lagos covers more than the metropolis.
Yeah.
And I know that you have consistently said that there are many, every local government's operational units, but do they have the facility? Do they have the equipment?
Yeah, that's why I said that we've done risk analysis, resource mapping. Now, the key thing, the outcome of that risk analysis and resource mapping is that we are going to give each of the local government the peculiarity, the type of emergency that they are experiencing in that locality. For example, at Ekpe area, where we have our, industrialization going on, Lekki Free Zone, we've already equipped the place with a regional dispatch center. Now, like Apapa now, you will discover that the major problems that we normally experience at Apapa are containers falling down. With that kind of locality, we have a Goliath position in that locality.
Where?
You get
Goliath is there.
Where is the Goliath?
the Goliath is there. Excuse me?
Which office?
Which office? Is in one of our offices that is situated at Apapa. So that whenever you have any falling container, we can easily dispatch it.
Which one is stronger? Is it Goliath or Charlie?
Goliath has to
They have different functions.
Okay.
They are important to our operation.
How many Goliaths do we have? How many Charlie do we have? Because I remember when we were celebrating, I was like, what are we celebrating? We were celebrating one Goliath or Charlie. Okay, it's a good way to start.
You see,
but how
the
many
point is that, first of all, let us thank Mr. Governor for us to have that emergency heavy-duty equipment. Number one, it's not an easy thing to maintain. You can't, it's not, look, when we move a Charlie out majestically, you will discover that the number of fuel, the number of manpower that we go with it is not that easy. When you see, the expenditure that the governments always pay when we move the Charlie out is enormous. It's close to millions of naira. Because you have to fuel it, it has its counterweight. It has to be moved with. It has to be moved with dispatch rider carrying the weight. The maintenance of it. Right. We more likely get people from Italy, Germany to come and maintain it. It's not an easy thing.
All right, so let me first commend you for abating the falling tanker at Link Bridge in Festac recently, and the one that happened at Oshodi, the fire.
Thank you very much.
So I want to know whether you do follow up. Does LASEMA also follow up to avoid some accidents? Because for Oshodi, since the fire happened, what you simply did, what the government did was cordon off inwards the airport from Oshodi-Apapa Expressway. And I've not seen any work happening. I just see a particular, what would I call it? There's a barricade just at the point of, and we always drive under that bridge. if the government is afraid that something will go wrong if people use the bridge, what about those of us going under the bridge every time? That's just on the side worry. Then you said the peculiarities of Apapa. There are situations that you have in Apapa happening consistently in Amu-Odofin without any recourse. We have falling tankers. We have Nupeng operating in the tank farms. We have the bonded terminals blocking the whole of Old Ojo Road, and they have the accidents and all of that. We have seen a particular bonded terminal respond to us because with their own private machines. What exactly do you do to partner these people and sensitize them on the ways that they use public property to reduce accidents? Do you do your health service week and all of that?
Yeah, you see, when you are talking about LASEMA is the coordinating agency of all the first responders. And when you count them, they're about 15 in number. We have the safety, we have the fire services, we have the LASEMA, we have the federal safety. We all have our roles and responsibility, and we work together. So when any form of emergency, there's a lot of follow-up. And we normally have quarterly stakeholders meetings that we normally discuss our challenges. And that is why you can see that our response to any form of emergency in Lagos State is always swift-front and effective, because we normally learn and we realize that emergency is different from one another. You can't say that, oh, because you handle one emergency today, it's going to be the same thing about the next one. They are different entirely, and you have to handle it professionally. Now, concerning the Amuwo, Apapa, the Nupeng, and everything, we've had a lot of stakeholders meeting on that, both at the private level, at the public level, and we already escalated it to the federal government. The NEMA, the federal government, the presidency are really looking into that. On our own parts, as emergency responders in Lagos State, we've put a lot of machinery in that place.
Okay, let me go on a quick
About a year or 6 months, it was than that. But you can see that we are doing a lot of sanity. Is a work in progress. But believe me,
let me go on
we are on top of all the challenges there. The mortality, the morbidity that is associated with that kind of thing has greatly reduced.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so because I want Nigerians to understand the situation of emergency, let's just picture that, okay, a house just came down, something collapsed right now in your presence, and you're a citizen, you're a bystander. What's the first thing you do?
Well, the first thing you do is that you keep away and you call 112 or 767. Okay. That's something that comes to your mind.
112. And when 112 gets called, what's the next step? What happens?
You see, when they call 112, 767, immediately we pick it up. We define the kind of emergency. Then we inform our units that are on the ground in that place oh, go to so street. This is what is happening. And immediately when they get there, they will inform us back. They will give us what we call situation report about the situation that is on the ground at that scene. So with that, we will be able to know what we are going to dispatch to that place, the kind of instruments that we are going to use, the kind of what is going on. For example, let's look at a 3- or 4-story building collapse. And we have people trapped inside there. Let's say about 10 or 20, you don't know the numbers. You call us on our emergency number, we dispatch, we activate our network, and that's local government. They will move in there. They will secure the place. We will now move a step forward, call all our key stakeholders, the fire services, the police, everybody will move in there. So with that, we started defining what is going on there. So by the time they secure the place, we send in our zonal something, because as we are radioing all the key stakeholders, all the other zones are hearing what is going on. So they move in and define, oh, this is the kind of emergency in there. Then immediately we have a sort of incident command control chain in that place. The incident man is there telling us, giving us feedback that this is what is happening. Then we will know the type of instruments that we are going to use in that place. The zonal offices moving in there. Now, it depends on the type of that emergency. If the emergency is of magnitude, there are a lot of people trapped in there.
Right.
The super ego, who is the DG LASEMA, we have to move there with all with all the key zonal offices. And that is why you will see us dispatching orders and using a lot of equipment there. And when we discover that we need more equipment, we will call where we have all our equipment base, which is at Kappa, which we call the Eagle Kappa base. And that's where we have our Charlie. That's why we have our Goliath. That's where we have sophisticated equipment. Then we will start dispatching them to that.
Okay.
And that is why that in Lagos State, under the watch,
that's all the marketing campaign.
our operation is swift, prompt, effective, because it's under incident command control chain. And the beauty of it in Lagos State is that we always record what we are doing. And as we are doing it, we have CCTV in our command control allowancer, so that when we finish doing it, we will play it back.
Okay.
We will know our lapses. We will know how we need to improve on it. And that is why you will always see that our outcome, our operation is always different from one another.
Okay, sir. Talking about recording, some months back, there was this recording of LASEMA handling a particular emergency situation, and I was really and truly impressed because I normally see that one in movies. So a container fell along that stadium bridge, and it fell on a car, and the driver of the car was still in the seat. But LASEMA was there, they were giving drip and everything while on ground. But I want to find out, for emergency situations, for those who find themselves eyewitnesses, bystanders, what is the best thing for them to do? You know, we used to have where they would try to drag people out. Yes. So what is the advice?
The best thing that we keep, if you are not trained as an emergency responder, please keep away. The best thing you can do for us is to call that emergency number 112 or 767.
If there's a fire,
if there's a fire too, what you need to do, keep away from that place. Call the 112 767. I've informed you and the audience that we have a structure in place. We have a robust structure that handles emergency in Lagos State holistically. So when it occurs, we move in. We are ready. Like this morning, we started working at Odualayo since 4 a.m. We have still morning, afternoon, and night. We are there. We manage the golden hour.
Okay, sir, I understand that the government has a responsibility to respond when emergencies take place. But there are some man-made errors, like the incessant bad driving, lack of maintenance of haulage trucks for both container and tankers, that has led to consistent damage of our common wealth. Like our roads go bad, they cause traffic, and it is a private business. When you now use Goliath or you release Charlie and you, Super Eagle, arrive there, there are millions of nairas that the government is putting on ground. Who is paying back for those? Is there a form of penalization of the owners of the companies so that we can collect our money back because they are using
that is what we are looking at.
Yes.
Really. We've involved the Ministry of Justice. We've carried out a lot of sensitization concerning it. And the government is really looking at that level. Because when you look at what the government deploys for any form of emergency scene, it's enormous. And you are talking about the manpower, human resources, a super ego, well-trained, moving to a scene. You know what that means?
Let me have a final question. You don't know your razzmatazz.
To a place. You know what that means?
We know.
It's a lot. So we've started.
Final question.
Dr. Osanyintolu, Satellite Town Residents Forum, they are not happy with you. So there's a falling tanker at Ijegun Egbas, Mumunadio, since Sunday night. They must have called this past Sunday, Nijetai. They have called 112-767, and it's still there. I have a picture right now from the President Satellite Town Forum. Right now.
Okay.
So what happened?
What happened?
Your
gra.
Let's look at what happened at that place. Number one, when the incident occurred, fortunately, I was aware of that incident. We deployed our team there. You know what happened? The guys there started molesting our people. They are saying that we're supposed to give them money before. Yes, they are molesting our people. I have it on record. I have it. We have the report.
Yeah.
In fact, later today, I'm going to have meetings with the Deputy Commissioner of Police on operations concerning that. The Mr. Governor has approved a letter because they started vandalizing, treating the first responders badly. Mr. Governor has just approved that whenever we are going for any form,
because you are government.
Whenever we are going for emergency, the police turn out. But you see, the point is this: let us enlighten our people. We want to.
Sir, you were attacked by touts. You were not attacked by residents. I can say it for free.
But you were attacked.
I can say it for free.
Touts are Nigerians.
Even we living on that side of town are victims of this touts.
Now,
I made a video to the GM LASEMA. What they do on traffic. They are making their money. We need government there.
The tout is within that local government.
Yeah.
How many touts can I point out to you?
Emergency responders that are well trained locally, internationally, they are now putting arms around them. They are not saying that we should pay money before we assist.
It's the same problem we have as residents there.
So
that's the problem we suffer as residents.
What we did, we informed the police about what is going on. Secondly, we informed the people in that locality. I had their phone number. I tested them that this is what we're experiencing. We were there 4 times, and we told them that, okay, whenever you ensure safety of that place, we move in there.
The residents will not fight out.
If we move Charlie there and they vandalize Charlie,
who's going to pay for
that we move Goliath.
We will not forgive them. Let's Goliath.
Leave us at the mercy of town.
If they hit,
I don't know any town. Stop government. No, this is unfair. You are government. No. You are government. You cannot leave me at the mercy of the town and ask me to deal with town. You are I did not vote it out.
Point taken, sir. Listen.
So we too are not happy with them.
Okay, wait. I have to wrap up. Dr. Osanyintolu, Dr. Osanyintolu, let me wrap up. Let me wrap up, sir. We have to go. I think the point she's making, the tout and everybody in that community are citizens being protected by the government. So even though the touts are there harassing, what she's saying is that they can't protect themselves. So they would like the feedback. Let me finish. The feedback would like for you to take back is let the police help us deal with those touts, because they also are the mercy of those touts. So we're asking that you're a government official, talk to the police to assist them to ensure that those touts don't take over.
Let's handle it very well. Don't let us.
We have to run, sir.
Sorry about that. This is a very good issue.
Yes.
You get what I'm going to say? Let me tell something. Satellite is not only very important to us.
Yes.
It's a very sensitive area.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time, second time, third time that we have been expressing something over there.
Yeah.
The police always assist us.
Yes.
But do you know what they normally do? They will always come en masse. So what we are saying to address the solution to tackle it is that now let their local government, let the people in there, they are their wards, they are their children. These people are not external. They are part and parcel of that local government.
Right.
They should realize. That is why we are carrying out a lot of sensitization, dissemination of them. They are part of that locality.
Right.
They should talk to them.
Okay, we have to run, unfortunately. That's all we can take.
Talk to their parents.
It's Tuesday. We'll talk about health. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.